Good morning to all of y'all, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So today we'll be learning about the physics, and today it's a beautiful Saturday morning and you all are eagerly waiting to study about work, energy and power, right? So hope that you will be benefited from this session and try to pay your 100% attention and be concentrating, right? And get the maximum out of this session, inshallah. So Miss Nabila is with us to conduct the physics session for y'all. Miss Nabila?
Yes, Assalamu
Over to you.
alaikum. Okay, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to talk about a very important lesson in your grade 10 syllabus, Unit 18, Work, Energy and Power. So this lesson, how this lesson is very important means almost all the lessons given in the grade level will be based on this lesson which you are learning in the grade 10. So that's why this lesson is very important. So I'll note down what are the important points in this lesson you are going to learn. So without knowing the basics, you can't go for the further lessons, right? So let's learn the basics very clearly so that you will be very good at writing your exams, inshallah, right? So work, energy and power. So what are you going to learn in this lesson, right? So in this lesson, they are mainly focusing on how to find the work done by an object, different forms of energy that help us to do work. So these different forms of energy, we categorize them as mechanical energy, electric energy, thermal energy, magnetic energy. So there are so many types of energy present in the nature, right? So we are not going to learn each and every type of energy in this lesson, but we will be noting down what are the different types of energy that are there to help us do work, right? So in this lesson we are mainly focusing on the mechanical energy. Unit 18 we will be focusing on the mechanical energy, the electric energy, thermal energy. All these type of energy will be discussed separately in grade 11. So those who already done grade 11 students might have been very familiar with those lessons and terms, but for grade 10 students who are already joining with us might not have been very familiar. So I am going to skip that part because it will be convenient for grade 11s, grade 10s also to understand the lesson very well. So apart from the different forms of energy, we will be talking about the potential energy, the uses of potential energy, that is a type of mechanical energy. What are the uses of potential energy in the daily life and how to find out the power, right? So power is also another term that you are going to learn in this lesson. So in this lesson there are three important terms you are going to learn: work, energy and power. So what are the terms, the definition of these terms, and how you can find out using formulas, how you can find out these components, work, energy and power, and how to use them in the daily life. Okay, so work. What is meant by work? What is meant by work? Now assume that you know that force is applied on an object. If a force is applied on an object, if you are going to push or pull an object, right, what happens using a force? If you are pushing or pulling an object, you are taking that object will change its position. That object will change its position. So if the object's position has been changed because of the action of an force, we call it as a work have been done. So an object is said to have done work if its position or shape changed under the action of the force applied on it, right? So therefore there is a formula given for the work. To calculate the amount of work done, the formula is work done by a force is magnitude of the force is multiplied by distance moved in a direction of the force. So this formula is one of the important formula given in this lesson, and it will be very time to write. So if you want to take down notes, you just take down only the formulas. That's enough, because these presentations will be uploaded. So you will be getting these presentations through, we will send you the link. So no need to write down all these things, but I have just write down. Now you are going to do questions now. So to do questions, you need this formula. So if you are taking notes, write down the formula and keep it with you. Other things you can note down later. Okay, so this is one of the important, the first formula given in the lesson. Work done by a force is equal to magnitude of the force is multiplied by distance moved in the direction of the force. So what is the unit of work? So I ask you a question, what is the unit of work? Right, joule, Newton meter, both are correct, right? Joule, Newton meter, both are correct, but the SI unit of work is joule. Joule is the standard international unit of work. So when you are doing questions, the answer, the final answer have to be given with the SI unit, joule. Then only you will get the marks. So even in a MCQ, they might sometimes give with a correct answer with Newton meter and joule, both are correct, but the SI unit, usually we are applying SI unit, joule, right? Right, this is the question number 1. This is not taken from any past papers. This was a model question, right? This question is given to understand how to use the formula, right? We will be doing past paper questions, don't worry. First, see whether you understood how to use the formula, the work formula, to do this question. Question number 1. What is the work done if a force of 7.5 Newton acts on an object and displaces it by 8 meter in the direction of the force, right? So I am getting answers 60 joules, right? So 7.5 Newton, the force is 7.5 Newton, and the distance traveled by the object because of the force is 8 meters. So the answer is So a question like this, if a question like this comes for a structured essay or essay, there is a proper way of answering it. First, you have to write the formula. Mostly, if they give 2 marks for a question like this, first you have to write the formula. Formula is very important. So after writing the formula, you can apply the values with the units. 7.5 Newton, distance traveled by the force is 8 meters, and the answer is 60 joule. So I am getting the answer, it's correct, but you have to know the proper method to write the answer to get the complete marks for the question, right? Here is another question. A weight of an object is 40 Newton. What is the work done in lifting the object by a vertical distance of 2 meters? Right, 80 joules. 80 Newton meter, you can't write it as 80 Newton meter, right? 80 joule is the answer. Is there a symbol to represent joule? The symbol is capital J. Capital J is the symbol. Right, so everyone got the answer correct. So since it is multiplication, it's easy, but there is a proper method to write it if it is given in the structured essay or essay, right? So you know the proper method. If you didn't write the formula, you will lost 1 marks. So remember it when you are doing a calculation question in physics section, every time write the formula. Can you spell joule? How to spell joule? Is Joule, right? Joule, right? So is it a must? Yes, it is a must to write the exams. Even in a structured essay question or essay question, you have to write the in marking schemes. They have mentioned that if the student have written the equation, give 1 marks. Likewise, they will give the instruction like that in the marking scheme, right? What is meant by joule? Joule means if an object is moving in 1 Newton force, right? If you are applying a 1 Newton force applied on an object, if it is moving 1 meter distance, we call it as 1 joule, right? Is there a simple formula? This is the simplest way of formula. Work is equal to force into distance. You can write it like that also. Work is equal to force into distance. W is equal to MD is also correct. But if you are using symbols, to write a formula, you have to mention the components, right? W is equal to work, M is equal to force, and D is equal to distance, right? Yes, we are measuring energy by joules also. So work done means an energy have to be spent to do a work, right? So if a work done means an energy have been spent. So both energy and work both have the same units, joule. Here they had given weight, not force, right? Weight means also a type of force, right? So what is weight? Because of object is having a weight because of the gravitational force, right? So that is because of that, the weight is also a type of force. Work is an energy type. No, work is not an energy type. Work is energy is used to do a work, right? So work is different, energy is different, but energy is needed to do a work. Weight is equal to force, yes. Gravitational force, we usually call it as the mass into the gravitational acceleration is equal to weight, right? We don't have any other letters to represent joule. Teacher, why can't we write unit as Newton meter with that? That is the reason, because joule is the standard international unit to denote work and energy, right? So usually we are using the SI unit for writing the answers, right? Newton meter is correct, it's not wrong, but SI units is used to write the answers, right? So energy. Okay, so what is meant by energy? SI unit means standard international units. There is an accepted unit that is accepted by the whole world, right? So joule is accepted by the whole world as the standard unit to measure the power, work and the energy. What is gravitational force? Gravitational force is, now the earth is having a gravitation. Because of that gravitation, all the objects are pulled downwards, right? That's why we are able to stand on the surface of the earth, because of the gravitational force, right? So will simple questions like this come, ma'am? Right, once we do some MCQ questions and structured essay question, you will understand these simple questions build up the complex questions, right? Okay, so energy. Energy is the ability to do a work, right? Energy is the ability to do a work. The measuring unit of energy is also joule, right? Because when you are doing a work, energy have been spent, right? So there are different forms of energy that help us to do work. So heat energy, thermal energy. This thermal energy you are separately learning in grade level, right? Thermal energy. Electric energy, about electric energy also you are learning in grade 11. Magnetic energy also you are learning in grade 11. Separate lessons are there. Mechanical energy, in this lesson you will be learning. Light energy, sound energy, in the waves lesson in grade 11 you are learning about light energy and sound energy, right? So now you know how important this lesson is. This is the basic lesson. You are going to learn about this power, energy, work, energy and power. And these lessons, what you are learning in these lessons are very important when you are going for grade 11. So don't forget. Nuclear energy is also there, right? But for you, nuclear energy is not mentioned. So I am not giving as an example here. So different forms of energy are there, right? Nuclear energy is also one of the form of energy, right? So it usually go for chemical energy, right? In the category of chemical energy. Potential energy is a type of mechanical energy. Right. So before learning about different forms of energy, mechanical energy, right, there is a law you should know. Law of energy conversion, right? So energy can't be created or destroyed, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another, right? So if we take an example like this, the production of hydroelectricity, right? What about kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is also a form of mechanical energy. We will be talking about potential energy and kinetic energy in the coming slides. So now law of energy conversion. So this is a very important point, because based on this point they have given questions. We have seen questions in the O-level paper, right? So energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can convert from one form to another form. right? For an example, if production of hydroelectricity. So in a production of hydroelectricity, what happens? The water is conserved in a reservoir, right? So there is a type of energy, usually potential energy is there in the stored water, right? So the stored water from one height, it is flowed to the turbines. So when it is flowing through, it is moving, it becomes kinetic energy. So this kinetic energy uh, will make the turbines rotate. Because of the turbines are being rotated, what happens? This kinetic energy will become electric energy, right? So likewise, the one energy form is transformed to another energy form, will not get destroyed, right? So you have to remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can convert from one form to another form, right? So if object is moving, that object is having kinetic energy, right? If an object is not moving and kept in a certain position, because of the position, we are having another type of energy that is known as potential energy, right? So because of the gravity, we have the gravitational energy, right? So if a object is stretching, right, we have the elastic energy. And when a fossil fuel burns, we will get chemical energy. And when the radiant energy, by light, thermal energy, we are getting radiant energy. Can't understand, right? So what is there to understand here is, remember the law of energy, right? One energy is always, yes, potential and kinetic energy. Potential and kinetic energy we will be learning, okay? So here you have to remember is, one energy is transformed to another energy, the energy cannot be created or destroyed. Heat plus light energy is solar energy, right? Solar energy is emitted and it will become light energy and heat energy. That is correct. Photosynthesis also chemical energy, yes. Isn't it the law of conservation of energy? Conservation of energy, right? That's also correct. A law of energy conversion or energy conservation. Both are correct, right? So then there are two types of mechanical energy, right? One is kinetic energy, other one is the potential energy, right? So the energy, chemical energy means energy stored in an object. Usually an energy stored in an object, we call it as chemical energy, right? So the energy possessed by an object because of the movement, we call it as kinetic energy. If an object is moving, that object is having a velocity. Because that object is having a velocity, that object will be moving. That means they have a kinetic energy, right? So kinetic energy, to find the kinetic energy, we are using this formula. E means energy, the kinetic energy EK is equal to half into m into v square, half mv square. This is the formula used for kinetic energy. Is where this law of conservation of energy does not work. As far as I know is, law of conservation of energy is a common theory, right? Where it will not work, I don't know any instances for that. Okay, right. Why do we calculate the velocity? Velocity, we are calculating the velocity because In a kinetic energy, object is having a kinetic energy because that object is moving. So if that object is moving, that means that object is having a velocity. So that's why in the formula we are giving velocity also to calculate the kinetic energy, right? In here you have to remember what is the definition of the kinetic energy and what is the formula to find the kinetic energy, right? So here is a question to see whether you have understood the formula correctly about the kinetic energy. Yes, work and energy both are same, right? Work, energy is needed to do a work, right? If you are pulling or pushing an object, that object will move. So if an object is moving, that object is having kinetic energy, right? Why velocity has power 2? Power 2 means it's a formula, no, right? There is a standard way, and, scientists have found it in that way. You can find the energy using that formula. What is the SI unit of kinetic energy? Same as the work. Energy also have the unit of joule. So kinetic energy is a form of energy. So joule will be there. Okay. The answer we are getting different answers we are getting. Okay. Here there is a mistake, no? Velocity is 4 into 4 is 16. 16 into 6 means okay, the answer is 48, right? 48, right? 48 joule is the answer. Here only this part is having a mistake here. 4 means 4 square. This is square have been mentioned like this, right? 4 square is 16. The answer is 48 joule, right? Okay, this have to be added as the superscript. Superscript you have to add it like that. So the answer is 48 joules, right? So same as the other things also, when they are asking you to write in an essay question or a structured essay, first write the formula, after that apply the values, and after that give the final answer with the units. I didn't understand the question. This is a very simple question. A mass of an object is 60 kilogram. Mass of an object is 60 kilogram. Calculate its kinetic energy when it is moving at a velocity of 4 ms minus 1. There is nothing to think logically in here, right? You have to just apply the formula and apply the values, right? This is a calculation thing you have to do. Aren't we converting kg into gram? No, we are applying 6 kilograms as it is, right? Speed is equal to velocity. Yes, speed is equal to velocity. The only difference is speed does not have a proper direction, but velocity have a proper direction. Both are, speed and velocity are more or less similar, right? Work and energy SI unit is same. Yes. If it is gram, we have to convert it to kilograms, right? So to convert it to kilograms, we will be multiplying it by, sorry, if it is grams, we should divide by, yes, we have to divide it by 1000, right? If it is given in grams, you have to convert. 6 square is not there, only 6 is there, V square is there, so 4 square should be coming here, so answer is 48 joules, right? Okay, another question is there. Here, the kinetic energy of an object of mass is 500 gram is 9 joule, right? The kinetic energy of an object of mass 500 gram is 9 joule. When it is moving with a certain velocity, calculate the velocity of the object at the at that instance, right? So they have given the kinetic energy and they have given the mass. So you have to find the velocity. So same formula you are going to use, right? So what will be the answer? Three ms minus 1, 6 ms minus 1. I am getting different answers. Right, 6, 6, 6. Right, 6. Okay. 450 joules. Now here they are asking the velocity. So if they are asking the velocity, that means it have to be given in ms minus 1, right? So 3, 6. Okay, we'll see what is the answer. So the answer is 6, right? So here mass is given as 0.5 kilogram, right? So here 500 gram have to be converted to kilograms, right? After that, this value will be added to the, here there is another mistake, here 0.5 kilogram should come, right? So the answer is 6. 6 ms minus 1. Okay, so we learned about work and its formula, kinetic energy and its formula, and now potential energy, right? So kinetic energy, if object is moving, it has a certain energy. That energy is known as kinetic energy. If an object is placed somewhere else, if an object is kept in a position, right, because of that position, that object is having an energy, right? In your answer they have put that 6 ms minus 2. No, it's not correct. 6 ms minus 1 should be there. Ms minus 1, velocity, the unit of velocity is ms minus 1, right? The energy stored in an object due to the position or due to change in it is known as the potential energy. If object is kept in one place, it has energy. That energy is called as potential energy. If a person is falling, he is dying because of potential energy. No, that is because of the, if a person is falling, that means that his potential energy will become to kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, how to convert 500 grams? 500 grams, to convert it to kilograms, what we do is we have to divide it by 1000. Okay, so potential, and the person is not dying because of the potential energy, because of the pressure applied on an object of that person when he is falling will make him die, right? That is not related to this lesson, right? Crashing, the pressure is there, no, that's why he is dying. Okay, right, so the energy is there. What is the potential energy at the maximum height? So what is the maximum height, you have to know, right? So Potential energy is equal to mgh. This is the formula, right? So m is mass of the object, g is the acceleration due to gravity, gravitational acceleration. Potential means rest. That means if a object is kept without moving, but kept in a position, that object is having an energy. That energy is known as potential energy, right? Right. If examples means right. So there are some uses in the daily life, potential energy. We'll talk about these uses in the later slides, right? Means for a waterfall, yeah, waterfall means before the waterfall starts, it is the water is having the potential energy, right? If they give weight, weight here is also weight is measured by kilogram, right? So can we write, yes, this is a standard formula. So standard formula means everyone will understand. So no need to point out each and every component in the exam. You just can write potential energy is equal to mgh if they give a question regarding this. So mass of the object is m, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the distance, vertical distance of the object, right? If the object is at rest and if it is in a certain position, right, that means higher above the ground, h is there no height, there should be a height from the surface. So if there is kept in a position which is higher above the ground, that object is having a potential energy, right? Potential energy means that object is kept high above the ground and have a certain height from the ground. If the object is kept like that, because of the position, it have the energy, potential energy. Kinetic energy means if object is moving, that object is having a velocity. Because of that velocity also, that object is having an energy. That energy is known as kinetic energy, right? Difference between potential and kinetic energy, right? So kinetic energy means if an object is moving, because of the moving, they have a velocity. Because of the velocity, they are having a kinetic energy. If object is moving, they have kinetic energy. If the object is kept in a certain height, they have the potential energy, right? Mountain cannot be given as example for potential energy. If an object is kept on the top of the mountain, that object is having the potential energy. If an object is in the ground, then it does not have potential. No, if it is in the surface, it does not have a potential energy. Right. Landslides also, that energy stored, potential energy, once it is converted to kinetic energy only, these landslides are being happening. Higher elevation, right? Yes, the object should be in higher elevation, somewhat in higher than the surface, ground surface, right? Not in the sea level. So the what is the energy of an object at rest? At the sea level, mostly 0, right? Object should be at rest and kept in a certain height from the ground. If a car is moving, right, if a car is moving, what happens? There is a velocity, so there is a kinetic energy. If an object is kept on the top of the mountain, that object is having a potential energy. Energy stored in the object is potential energy, right? Okay, so this is a question taken from 2019 essay paper, right? So they are asking you to complete the diagram A and B. The A and B part have to be completed. In this laboratory, electricity is produced if an object is moving high in a flat surface, right? From a flat surface to a height, if it is moving, the starting energy is 0 and the kinetic energy will build up, right? And after that, it will become the potential energy. So what happens in the step 1? Maintaining high pressure, right? Electricity is produced follows to light the electric bulbs. Maintaining under high pressure the steam produced by boiling water by burning the biogas, right? So in step 1, chemical energy become potential energy, right? Operating a turbine by spurting steam kept under high pressure, right? Step 2, what happens? Operating a turbine means that turbine will rotate. Rotate means there is a movement, right? So there is a movement, that object is moving. Because of the object is moving, it has kinetic energy. A is kinetic energy, right? Yeah, most potential energy will turn into kinetic energy, and kinetic energy can transform into potential energy. It is a conversion, depending on the situation, right? One is kinetic energy, A. After step 2, it will be kinetic energy, and operating an electric generator by running turbine, right? So by operating an electric generator by running turbine, it will become electric energy, right? Chemical energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, and electric energy, right? Explain it again. I'm getting a question. Here, maintaining under high pressure the steam produced by boiling biogas. There is chemical energy present before the step 1, right? So that's because of the step 1, this chemical energy, they are telling that chemical energy becomes potential energy, right? And from this steam, right, biogas, that steam is directed to a turbine. So that because of the steam is directed to a turbine, what happens? The turbine will rotate. Step 2, right? After the turbine is rotating, that rotation, because of the rotation, it will become chemical energy, right? So after that, kinetic energy, potential energy will become kinetic energy, right? So no, sound energy, we can't write sound energy for B, because here they are the final product energy will be electric energy. They are converting chemical energy to the electric energy. So potential energy, kinetic energy, and electric energy, right? This will be the answer coming for the question here. A is kinetic energy and B is electric energy. Light energy also correct. You can write it as light energy, but here electricity is produced now. So since electricity is produced, we are writing as electric energy. So this question, to do this question very clearly, right? I have given, even though I have given this question, to do this question very clearly, you have to have a knowledge on grade 11 lessons also. So those who are still in grade 10, those who have joined with us today, grade 10, don't worry about it. Don't get concerned over this, because once you learn the lessons in grade 11, you will understand it very clearly. So I have put up this question to tell that energy conversion, questions regarding energy conversion or energy conservation will be coming for your exams. Right. Okay, so here another question is given. Find the gravitational potential energy of an object of mass 7.5 kilogram at a vertical height of 4 meters, right? So this is regarding potential energy. This is regarding potential energy. This is the formula given for potential energy, mgh. They are asking about the potential energy, right? So because of the gravity, there is energy, right? So if it is kept in a certain height, they are having an energy, right? So what is the answer? 300, 600, 300 joules, 600 joules. So I'm getting different types of answers, right? Most of them are 300. Let's see whether it is 300 or 3000 also there, right? We'll see what is the answer will be. Okay, 300 joules, right? Okay, wait. So I'm getting so many questions here. Okay, so the answer is 300 here also. If a question like this comes for structured essay or essay, write the formula. Write the formula and apply the values and 300. Teacher, acceleration is not given. G is gravitational acceleration. Gravitational acceleration is 10 ms minus 2. Usually they will give in the exam. Here I have not given. But you know that gravitational acceleration is 10 ms minus 2. It is very common one, because for almost all the lessons from grade 10 and 11, you have to use this value, gravitational acceleration, right? Yes, the original value of gravitational acceleration is 9.8, but we will round it up to make a whole number. 10 ms minus 2, usually this number is using, right? 10 ms minus 2 is used as gravitational acceleration. mgh, m is the mass, g is the gravitational acceleration, that is 10 ms minus 2, right? And h is height. Because a object is kept in a certain height, no, in potential energy, if it is kept in a certain height, the earth have a gravity. Because of the gravity, that earth will pull the object downwards. So if the object is pulled downward, that object is having a gravitational acceleration. That's why we are adding in the formula also they have given. How did 10 ms minus 2 come? Because here g is given as 10 ms minus 2. Gravitational acceleration is g is 10 ms minus 2. For all questions, g is 10 ms minus 2. Gravitational acceleration is there. If they have given in the formula, you have to write. Why joules as unit? Joules as a unit because it's the energy. Energy standard international unit of energy is joules. I'm getting a question like this. What is the answer for the previous slide? I'm again going for the previous slide. Okay. A is kinetic energy. B is potential. A is kinetic energy. B is electric energy. or light energy. You can write either electric energy or light energy for the B. Right. Here is another question. A mass of 800 gram was projected vertically upwards at a velocity of 20 ms minus 1. What is the kinetic energy of the object just as it is projected? How long will it take to reach the maximum height? What is the maximum height it would reach, right? What is the potential energy at the maximum height? So this question is given in your textbook, right? So if an object is projected vertically upward, right? If a vertically upward, so it's in the surface, right? So the kinetic energy upwards at the velocity of 20 ms minus 1. What is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy, here kinetic energy is not zero. Kinetic energy has a value. I'll give you the value, just wait for 1 minute. The answer is 160 joule, right? The kinetic energy, the answer is 160 joule. How long will it take to reach the maximum height? So the gravitational acceleration is 10 ms minus 2. So the time taken to reach the maximum height is 2 seconds, because the velocity, the starting velocity is 20 ms minus 1. So 20 ms minus 1, when you're vertically projecting an object, what happens? This question is related to grade 10 unit 2. We have already done in the previous seminar, so I am not going to explain it again, right? Right. So because 20 ms minus 1, so because of the gravitational acceleration is 10, the velocity will decrease for 10 in 1 second and another 10 in the second. So 20 ms minus 1 will become 0, velocity 0 when it is reaches to the maximum height. So it takes only 2 seconds. Yes, object is just projected. Just projected means that having the velocity of 20 ms minus 1. So what is the maximum height it would reach, right? So the maximum height it would reach is, you have to find this from the formula using velocity is equal to distance divided by time taken. This is also a formula you are learning in the previous lessons, right? The first answer is 160 joule, right? So kinetic energy means if an object is having a velocity, it have a kinetic energy, right? Potential energy is 0, right? So potential energy at the maximum height, Potential energy at the maximum height is right. So these are the answers. Okay. So since this is given in the book, I'm not going to focus it more, right? So this you should know that from only one lesson they are not focusing on questions. 2 or more lessons will be combined for making questions. So without the knowledge of previous lessons, you can't do this, right? Velocity is equal to displacement divided by time. Distance also correct, right? Kinetic energy is not zero. Kinetic energy is having a velocity of kinetic energy is having a value of 160 joule. No, time is equal to velocity divided by acceleration is not the correct formula. Right. So uses of potential energy, right? So uses of potential energy. One is generation of hydroelectricity. I have already described it. Pile and tower in construction field, they use this machine, a pile and tower. Here what they do is, if they want to dig a hole in the ground, they push the crane for a certain height, and then they will again release it to the ground. So there will be, because of the potential energy will become kinetic energy, and it will be making a hole, right? Sledgehammer is also one of the uses of potential energy, right? Here there is a question given from 2015 MCQ, right? Can you answer? Can you answer the question? Electricity generation, it's in this lesson we are not focusing on that. So just remember that potential energy is used to produce hydroelectricity. Fourth option, answer 0.2 4 3. I'm getting different answers, right? So what are they asking is, here the change in the potential energy, change happening in the potential energy, right? So if a small butterfly is flew from point A to point B, at point A, what is the potential energy they have? What is the potential energy they have in point A, right? So that is 0.1. So point B, the potential energy they have is 0.2. So the change in the potential energy is 0.1. So the answer will be second one. Second one is the answer, right? So you have to find the potential energy at the point A and the potential energy at the point B. You have to subtract it to find the answer for it. So the second answer will be coming. Okay, here this is a complex question, right? Taken from 2012 structured essay paper. So here a metal gutter 1 meter long is kept inclined in the horizontal ground, right? So at the end A, there is a in the height of H, there is a glass ball kept with the mass of M. It is kept here A, right? So no need to take screenshots. We will be uploading these presentations, right? You can ask if you give your Gmail addresses. We can send you the presentations if you need, right? So no need to take screenshots. Okay. So some are telling that this question is not clear, right? This is taken from 2012 structured essay paper. If you have the past paper books with you, you can refer, right? You can refer if you have the past paper books. So here glass ball is kept in the position A and it has the mass of M, and it slides down the gutter, comes to B and travels 5 meters on the horizontal ground, and finally it reached the point C. In this chat box, we'll inform you after the session is over. We'll inform you, right? Okay. So using the symbols given, write an expression for the potential energy. So using the symbols given. So what is the expression for potential energy? The same expression is there, mgh, right? At B, the velocity of the ball is v, right? The velocity of the ball is v at the B point, and write an expression for the kinetic energy of the ball. So the kinetic energy of the ball is half into mv square, right? So the relationship between the 1 and 2 is to find the v. That means now here this potential energy have become, the potential energy here at the point A have become kinetic energy. So there is an energy conversion. So potential energy is equal to kinetic energy. So from that you have to derive a formula to find V. Right, I'll give you the answers. Here there is a question. After you find this formula here, you can find the answer for V by applying the values. And what is the reason why the glass ball comes to rest at C? Right. Okay. Here are the answers. The first one is mgh. Second one, half into mv square. How potential energy and kinetic, I'm getting a question. How potential energy and kinetic energy are same, because here from the place where from A it is potential energy is there. Once it is coming down, it becomes kinetic energy, right? So this potential energy have become kinetic energy according to the energy conversion law, right? So energy cannot be destroyed or created. It can convert to one form to another. So here potential energy will become kinetic energy. So these are the answers. So half into mgh into half mv square, and we are deriving an equation like this. So using that equation and the values given in the question, right? So the answer is 2 ms minus 1. Why the ball is stopping? Why the ball is coming to rest at C? Because of the loss of energy or the friction, right? This kinetic energy build up here at the point B will lost as friction. It will become spent as friction, so the ball will stop. Third one, please explain, right? We have already learned that energy cannot be created or destroyed can convert from one type of energy to another type of energy, right? So if the object is having placed in a certain height, that object is having potential energy, and if it is coming to the ground, means the potential energy will convert it to kinetic energy, because at the point B the ball is having a velocity of v. So that's why they are having, at point B, they are having a kinetic energy. Sum of the energy should be always equal. As per the law of conservation, right? All the sum of the energy should be equal. So here, potential energy is equal to the kinetic energy. This kinetic energy will become frictional energy in this point. That's why the ball is stopping, because of the friction created by the surface. Okay. Power. So we learned about work, energy, and power. So the definition of power is the work done in a unit time, or the rate of doing work is known as power, right? So this is the formula. Power is equal to work done divided by time spent. The unit of power is watt. Joules per second. The standard international unit of power is watt, right? So these things are basic knowledge, that there is no specific reason why we are using watt, why we are using joule, because they have been designed as it is, right? So work done is divided by time spent. So the unit of power is watt. Another unit for watt is joules per second, JS minus 1, but we are using watt because it is the international unit. There is a question given here. To see whether you have understood the formula very well. The time taken to lift a mass of 5 kg to a height of 8 meters is 10 seconds. Calculate the rate of doing the work or power, right? So power means work done, time spent. No. So work done we are calculating by, the mass is 5 kilogram, that is 50 Newton, and the distance traveled is 8 meters. So the work done is 400 joule. So power is, this 400 joule work is done in 10 seconds. So 400 joule is divided by 10 seconds. So 40 watt. A child lifts a bag of mass of 4 kg to a height of 1.5 meters. What is the work done? If the child took 3 seconds to do the work above, what is the rate of doing the work? Right? Two part in this question. This is taken from your textbook. Right? Work done is 60 joules, right? And if the child took 3 seconds to do the work above, what is the rate of doing work? Rate of doing work is 20 watt, right? So here you have to use the formula and apply the values. Nothing else is expected from you here. So this is easy if you remember the formulas, right? 4 type of formulas are given in this lesson. For work is equal to force into distance, kinetic energy, half into mv square, potential energy mgh, and power is equal to work done is divided by time spent. What is d? D is the distance traveled. Okay. This is taken from 2017 MCQ. Right. So can you answer? Can you give the answer? A child of mass 40 kilogram walked along a staircase from the first floor to the third floor of the building, which is 9-meter height from the first floor. The time taken by the child for the entire motion is 2 minutes. What is the rate of doing work? The answer is 30 watt, right? The answer is 30 watt. That is the correct answer. First, you have to find the work done. Work done is 40 kilograms means 400 Newton is multiplied by the distance traveled by the force, right? Distance traveled by the force is 9 meters. That will give the answer of 3600 joules, right? So the rate of doing work or the power is 3600 joule is divided by 120 seconds, right? You have to convert minutes into seconds. So the answer is 30 watt. So the first is the correct one, correct answer. 400 kilogram is converted into 400 Newton by multiplying it by the gravitational acceleration. Mass weight is calculated by mass over gravitational acceleration. Kilogram to Newton, you have to multiply kilogram by the gravitational acceleration given here, 10 ms minus 2. There are two types of units, mass and weight. Weight is equal to force. Mass given as 40 kilogram, right? So this 40 kilogram have to be converted to force. To do that, we are multiplying it by gravitational acceleration. How to convert minutes into second? To convert minutes into second also, you have to multiply it by 60, right? This is very basic because this is not a question we can expect from a student of grade 10 or 11, right? This is the method. Here work done is equal to force over distance. It will be give the answer as 3600 joule. And the power is equal to work done is divided by time spent. MGH, we can write MGH also. Potential energy equation also can be used instead of the work done. Time should be written in seconds, right? That is how the units are there, joules per second. That will give the power unit as what? Okay, here is another question. To do this question, you need to know another thing about electric energy, right? So electric energy is not discussed in this lesson. So once you learn that lesson, you can do it. Yes, can you write joules per second instead of what? I already said that what is the standard international unit. So we have to write the answer with the what? Even in the MCQ question, they have given the answer with what? Not with joules per second. Because this is the standard international unit. So always you have to follow the standard international unit to write the answers. This is taken from 2017 essay. Joules per second, if you write the answer with joules per second, I don't know, according to the marking scheme, they might give marks or they might not give marks. So what is, if you write what, you are in the safe place. Watt and joule are not same, right? Joule is used to measure the energy and the work done. Power, the rate of doing work is known as power. It is measured by watt. Arrange the A, B, C, D in the ascending order of the electric energy. You haven't learned about electric energy. This is the formula for electric energy that you will be learning. Already students in grade 11 might have learned this formula, right? Using this formula only, you have to arrange it, right? So I'm not going to go that much deep because grade 10 students are also there, right? So the answer here is you have to write it like this. And electric energy, by using the formula here, E equals PT, you can find the answer. P is the power. Here are some model questions are there. If you need the presentation, I can forward it to you, right? So these questions I have just put it because you can try it out. Okay, so this is the basic things. Now the questions I have put at the end of the slides. If you need the PowerPoint presentations, we can mail you, but there is a procedure. Phyla, are you there?
Yes, Ms. Nabila, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. So if the students need the presentation, is there a way to send them?
Yeah, inshallah. So we can get the email ID. So most of the students in here are already registered via the Gmail. So we have their email ID. So inshallah, we can send it to them from mail, inshallah, not through WhatsApp. Probably from mail, inshallah, we'll be sending. Of course, we have to send the last time webinar presentations also. So we would be sending both together, inshallah.
All three presentations we'll send together, right?
Yes, inshallah. Yes, all together.
You will be getting the presentations, all three presentations for the all three seminars through your Gmail account.
Yes. So yes, Ms. Nabila. So before we move into the questioning session, we have few announcements. So, so thank you very much, Miss Nabila, for joining with us today on this beautiful Saturday morning. And of course, Alhamdulillah, it was a very interactive session, even though we couldn't hear the students. They were always asking questions and you were answering them, and it was a very interactive session, I could say. Thank you very much. And of course, when we are talking about physics, you should clear the doubts before you move further, isn't it, right? So Alhamdulillah, it was done very effectively. Thank you very much, Ms. Nabila. And of course, so today you have learned all about energy and work and power, right? So I hope that you can and you understood the entire lesson and will be able to do any questions if you come across in this subject matter, right? And of course, you tried out many past paper questions, right? So with Ms. Nabila, and hope you have got an idea as to how to do these sums, right? Okay, so tomorrow is going to be the biology session, right? And most of you had requested what the topic is going to be, isn't it? So the topic that is going to be tomorrow is characteristics of living organisms, right? Again, one of the questions that could be targeted for your exam paper, right? It's of course a basic lesson from your grade 10 syllabus. Again, I always used to tell you all why we target the grade 10 lessons, because then we can focus on both grade 10s and 11s, and because 11s will also be much more benefited because we are revising the grade 10 lessons for them, right? So again, it is also going to be with past paper discussion. And of course, we have another announcement, that is we are looking forward to have a past paper discussion 2019, which is going to be a paid program. And the date is not yet fixed. So inshallah, interested students can contact these numbers and register yourself for this webinar. However, this is going to be a continuous webinar. The first paper is going to be discussed is 2019. And then inshallah, we'll be discussing the papers with the theory, of course, not only the answers, with the theory, finishing off the MCQs, structure essays and essays, inshallah. And a few more advertisements. Hold on a minute. Right. So you can ask any questions if you all have in the group from Ms. Nabila regarding the today's lesson.
So I know there are so many questions regarding this. This is a physics lesson, so you have so much questions to ask. I know some of these questions take lot of time to answer also. So the main thing you have to know in these lessons is you have to memorize all the formulas. There is no any other method for that, no any other shortcuts, short routes for that. You have to memorize all the formulas given in a lesson, and using that formula you can do the questions, right? So the units are important and the formulas are important, right? So if they have a standard international, if there are 2 or more units for a given component, always use the standard international unit. That is the 2 things you have to remember. So if you follow these 2 things, memorize the formulas and standard international units. When you are doing the question, write the standard international units. These 2 are very important in the lessons, right? So we will be YouTube recording also, we will be uploading in the YouTube, right? After all 3 sessions are being finished, inshallah, after tomorrow we will be uploading them. And you have signed up through Gmail, so you will we will be sending you the presentations also.
And another announcement, that is children who are not yet signed, that is, if you have not registered yourself, please send me your email IDs to the following number. I'll let my number in the chat box. Drop me a message with your email ID so that we can send you the PowerPoint presentations. And any questions, further questions you can ask regarding the today's lesson or the upcoming programs. And yes, I'll be letting you all know about the, hold on a minute, I'm trying to take the link for the group. Most of you all have requested for the link.
Excuse me, Faila. I got a question like this. Can you send the information through WhatsApp group? We usually do send you the Zoom link and all the links through WhatsApp group, right? So stay tuned in the WhatsApp group. So we will be sending you informations.
Yeah. So what is the question really?
Yeah, that is the question. Will you send information through WhatsApp group?
Yeah, the information, yes, of course. I was confused as to what is the question, yes. So the information regarding the webinars and everything will be uploaded, and you will be notified from the WhatsApp. Yes, of course, that is true. And but the PPTs, the PowerPoint presentations, the PDFs will not be sent through WhatsApp, right? So that is specially, there's a reason for that, right? When you get it through WhatsApp, you just don't do anything with it, right? But when once you have the PPTs, okay, I've been a student also, right? Once you get the PPTs, what you do, okay, I have the PPT with me, right? And then you do nothing with it, right? But then when you have the Gmail, and only the interested students will have the care to open the email and go through them again and then study, right? And most of the time the PPT will be in your phone and you never going to see it again, right? So we don't want that to happen, and then you keep on forwarding the PPTs to your friends who are also not going to view it again, right? So that is something that we don't want to happen, right? So that is why we will only send the PPTs and the PDFs, that is the learning materials, from the email, right? Only from to your email addresses, right? The chat, what do we call it? The link for the chat is chat group. The WhatsApp group has been posted. If you are already in one of the groups, please do not join the group 3, right? Please understand, okay? You're like big children, okay? You don't want to be in the same group to receive the same messages 4 times, okay? If you want to, which means there's something wrong with you. Anyways, just be in one group, right? So that new participants can join the group, right? Any more questions for Miss Nabila? If there's any questions for the lesson, you can no doubts, very clear. Thank you.
If you have any doubts, you can put a message through the Gmail. Our online Smart Science Gmail address is also given, and my personal Gmail address is also given. If you have any question regarding the webinar session, you can direct it to onlinesmartscience@gmail.com. If you have any questions regarding today's session, you can put it in my personal Gmail account, mnfnabi1994@gmail.com, or else you can contact me through the number given. For any doubts, if you have during today's session, I know this is a physics lesson, calculations are there, so you can put messages, you can ask questions. We are very much happy to help you.
Yes, and then some of y'all wanted to know the YouTube channel, that is Smart Science. I have sent you the link for the previous videos, right? So that you can subscribe for that channel. And of course, please subscribe to Tasvi Media. From there also, you will be getting notification regarding our programs, inshallah. Right, shall we call it a day? Do you all have any more questions? So tomorrow, same time, right? We'll be meeting same time, 9 to 10:30 with a bio lesson, which is going to be characteristics of living organisms, right? So it's again a basic lesson, right? And then we'll be doing it with past paper questions. And of course, there are 3 practicals discussed in that lesson, right? So can be targeted for your structure essay paper, right? Simple structure essay questions can be derived from those practicals, inshallah. And of course, there is a past paper question related to that lesson. So I have included all those questions also into the PPT, and inshallah, tomorrow we can meet at the same time for the biology session. Any more questions? You're welcome. Right, Miss Nabila, do you have any questions to be answered from the students?
No.
Okay, fine then. Thank you very much for all of you all for joining on this Saturday. And thank you very much, Miss Nabila, and thank you for the team, Tasvi Media team, and Ashifan sir for hosting the program. And yes, we'll call it a day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And have a nice day. Thank you very much.